Hare Krishna. Did you go to airport last night?
Yes.
You dropped them? What
Yes.
time did you come by?
Around 11:30.
Oh my gosh. Is Kripa's into here now?
Yes,
You came last night?
came last.
Did you pick him up when you were there?
He came with him.
Vibhavari Shesha Loka Provisha Nidrachariyuta Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mokhanda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Narsimhavamana Srimadhusudana Rajendra Nandana Shama Bhutana Gatana Kaita Bashatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Yashoda Dulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandhara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhora Ravana Thakura Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Brajera Rakala Gopa Vrindapalo Chitta Hari Vamsi Dhari Yogendra Bandhana Srinandanandana Rajajana Bhayahari Navinane Raja Rupa Manohara Mohana Vamsi Bihari Yashoda Nandana Kamsamishudana Nikunjara Savilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrindavipina Nivasi Ananda Vardhana Premani Ketana Kulashara Yojaka Khana Gopangana Chita Vinodana Samasta Guna Gana Dhamma Yamuna Jivana Kili Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Namashudaras O Krishna Yash Ako Vachanamana Mohora Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Lord Premanande Haribo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirhayat Nistaprayeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3. Hiranyakashipu's plans to become immortal. Text number 12. Iti Sushruma Nirbandam tapa paramam astita vidatsvan antaram vidatsvan antaram yuktam swayam tri bhuvaneshvara iti shruma nirbandham tapa paramam astita vidatsvanantaram yuktam swayam tri bhuvaneshvari yeah, bhuvaneshvari iti shruma nirbandham tapa paramamastita vidatsvanantaram yuktam swayam tri bhuvaneshvara iti shruma nirbandham tapa paramamastitaha vidatsvanantaram yuktam swayam tri bhuvaneshvara iti. In this way, Sushruma, we have heard Nirbandham, strong determination, Tapa, austerity, Paramam, very severe, Astita is situated in, Vidatsva, please take steps. Anantaram, as soon as possible. Yuktam, befitting, Swayam, yourself. Hhbvvn Ishvara, O Master of the three worlds. Translation: O Lord, we have heard from reliable sources that in order to obtain your post, Hiranyakashipu is now engaged in severe austerity. You are the master of the three worlds. Please, without delay, take whatever steps you deem appropriate. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the material world, a servant is provided for by the master, but is always planning how to capture the master's post. There have been many instances of this in history, especially in India during the Mohammedan rule. Many servants, by plans and devices, took over the posts of their masters. It is learned from Chaitanya literature that one big zamindar, Subudhi Rai, kept a Mohammedan boy as a servant. Of course, he treated the boy as his own child, and sometimes when the boy would steal something, the master would chastise him by striking him with a cane. There was a mark on the boy's back from this chastisement. Later, after the boy had by crooked means become Hussain Shah, Nawab of Bengal, one day his wife saw the mark on his back and inquired about it. The Nawab replied that in his childhood he had been a servant of Subudhi Rai, who had punished him because of some mischievous activities. Upon hearing this, the Nawab's wife immediately became agitated and requested her husband to kill Subudhi Rai. Nawab Hussain Shah, of course, was very grateful to Subudhi Rai and therefore refused to kill him. But when his wife requested him to turn Subudhi Rai into a Mohammedan, the Nawab agreed. Taking some water from his water pot, he sprinkled it upon Subudhi Rai and declared that Subudhi Rai has now become a Mohammedan. The point is that this Nawab had been an ordinary menial servant of Subudhi Rai, but was somehow or other able to occupy the supreme post of Nawab of Bengal. This is the material world. Everyone is trying to become master through various devices, although everyone is servant of his senses. Following this system, a living entity, although servant of its senses, tries to become master of the whole universe. Hiranyakashipu was a typical example of this. And Brahma was informed by the demigods of his intentions. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana. Tapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. Ham Shri Guru Shri Yatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raganathan Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantam Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Alright, so we're hearing the demigods, how they're informing Lord Brahma about the intentions, about the plan of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was doing his austerity, and his purpose in doing the austerity was to get Brahma's position. He wants to get the post of Brahma, so he was doing tapasya. So Prabhupada talks how in the material world, everyone wants to be the master. We don't like to be the servant. We think to be the servant, that's low position. We think to be the master, that's the best thing. But Prabhupada describes this story from the Chaitanya Charitamrita about this one man named Subudhi Rai. Subudhi Rai was a rich man, and he had some Mohammedan boys serving him in his house. So one of these boys did something wrong, so Subudhi Rai hit him with the cane. And when you're hit with the cane, it leaves a mark on the body. Just like even today, they have caning. Here in Malaysia, they cane people. In Singapore also, they will cane people for different crimes. Things like drug addiction and things. They'll beat them. And if they're beaten, then the marks are there on the body. So this boy was a servant in the home of Subudhi Rai. But he grew up and he became very powerful. He got a big position. In the beginning, he was a servant, but by some way, he became a big man. He became the Nawab of Bengal. It means like the ruler of Bengal. He became so powerful. And he was married, he had a wife, and the wife saw the mark on his body, and the wife complained, "You have to do something." So he said, okay. He didn't want to kill him, but he said, I can make him a Muslim. And in those days, time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, means 500 years ago, it was very easy to make someone a Muslim. And so he just took some water and he threw it on the person and he said, now you're a Muslim. And if you would do things like eat food made by a Muslim, you would become a Muslim. If you drank water from the same pot as a Muslim, you would be a Muslim. So So this Subudhi Rai had to become, he was told, you're a Muslim. So he didn't want to be a Muslim, he was a devotee. And he went to the Brahmanas and he asked the Brahmanas, what can I do? They made me into a Muslim. They said, I'm a Muslim now. The Brahmana said, the only thing you can do is, you have to drink boiling ghee. Have you ever tried it? No, boiling ghee, could you imagine? You'll die. It means it was a death. But they said that is the only atonement, the only way you can save yourself. You should drink boiling ghee. So Subudhi Rai thought, why? I don't want to do that, you know. So then it happened that he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the situation. He told Lord Chaitanya his problem. Lord Chaitanya said, you don't have to drink boiling ghee. All you have to do, chant the holy name and serve the Vaishnavas. Service to the Vaishnavas and chanting the holy name. These two things are very powerful. So, Subudhi Rai, he'd gone to Vrindavan and he was living in Vrindavan. Now, Bengali people like to go to Vrindavan, but often when they go to Vrindavan, they will get sick. Just like us also, right? You go there, you can get sick easily. Many things happen in Vrindavan. You know, they have that t-shirt, you know that t-shirt? I lost my heart in Vrindavan. You don't only lose your heart, you lose your shoes, you lose your spectacles. The monkeys will take everything from you. Many things you can lose in Vrindavan. So, Subudhi Rai was staying in Vrindavan and the Bengali people were coming. In Bengal, they eat rice. They grow rice and they like to eat rice. And they can eat a lot of rice, you know. But in Vrindavan is in central India and it's a dry place. Bengal is very humid. It's very wet, a lot of rain and it's humid, so they grow rice there. But Vrindavan, Delhi, it's very dry. They grow wheat there. They don't grow rice. They grow wheat. They grow atta, wheat. And they eat chapati, just like in China. Bai fang che mian, nan fang che fan. Right? 是这样啊? Right? Yeah. So Bengali people, they eat fan, they eat rice. But in Vrindavan, they don't have rice there. They have only chapati. They eat the chapati. And so they're not, especially they have a thing called Braj Roti. Braj Roti. If you ever go to Vrindavan, you can do madhukari. You know madhukari? Madhukari is where you go and beg. You beg from the people and you only eat what the people give you. You know? You don't go to restaurants. You don't eat the feast. You only go to the Brajbasi people and you say Hare Krishna and, you know, put your hands up and they'll give you Braj Roti, maybe. You can get the Braj Roti. Braj Roti is made from the wheat that grows there. But you eat it, well, you can get sick very easy. Very hard, very heaty, very easy to get sick. So Subudhi Rai, he wanted to serve the Vaishnavas, so he decided what he would do. He went in the forest and he collected the dry wood, and he brought all the dry wood and he sold it in the market. You know, people use wood to cook on. So he would go in the forest and he would just pick up wood here, everywhere, and he'd bring it back and to the market, and he could sell the dry wood. And with the money he got for the dry wood, he would buy yogurt and some rice, and he would serve the Bengali people when they came. He would give the Bengali people rice and yogurt, because that would cool their stomach. Rice and yogurt, very cooling. But if you eat the braj roti, wow, you get so hot, you know. Your body becomes very hot. And so he would cool them down. He would give them rice and yogurt. So this way he was serving the Vaishnavas. He would do, and he did this for a long time. He would go in the forest, collect the wood, bring the wood back and sell it, get some money, buy yogurt and buy rice and serve it to the Bengali Vaishnavas. So this was his service. And he became a great devotee because he was doing this, he was serving the Vaishnavas, and he was chanting the holy name. So these two things are very powerful, you see. We say, Mahat Sevam Dwara Hhbvvn. By serving the devotees, it opens the doors to liberation. And Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. If you just serve our own senses, if we just serve our own material desires, that will take us to hell. We won't get any good destination. So material world, everyone wants to be the master. Another example was when Prabhupada was in Japan. He went to Dinapan. He went to see about printing. Prabhupada wanted to print Back to Godhead magazine and Krishna book. And he wanted to print many copies, thousands of copies, you know. Nowadays, Back to Godhead magazine, they don't print many copies because they only distribute it to the devotees. But in Prabhupada's time, the Back to Godhead was for distributing to everybody, and it was articles introducing Lord Chaitanya and introducing the Mahamantra and Krishna consciousness movement to people. So Prabhupada went to see the printers to talk to them about the price and the arrangement for the printing. And so when he came, he had a meeting and all the directors of the company was there. He sat at the table, a round table with all the directors of the company. And each of the members, each of the directors, they came and gave their name card to Prabhupada. The head of the managing director, his card was on the top. And the other directors, you know, their cards were lower. And the youngest director, his card was on the bottom. Like that. So Prabhupada talked to them about printing the books. And then after some time, you know, they came to the agreement. And all the directors went away except for the one man who was the youngest. The youngest director. He was still there with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada asked him, what is your goal in life? So the man saw the pile of the name cards on the table there in front of Prabhupada. He took his card out from the bottom and he put his card on the top. He said, this is my goal in life. to get to the top. Right? That is the material world. Everyone, they want to get to the top. They want to be the top man. If you are playing sports, you want to be the best, right? If you're a runner, you want to run the fastest. If you're a footballer, you want to score the goals. If you're the politician, you want to win the election. You want to be the best. Material world. Everyone wants to be, but no, not, it's, of course it cannot happen. Everyone gets the results of their previous work according to their activities. Everyone is getting, you get some happiness and you get some distress. If somebody is getting success, it's due to something they did in the past. And if somebody is getting trouble, a lot of pain and misery, it's because of something we did in the past. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. So we get the reactions of our work. But everyone has the desire to want to control. So that is the demonic nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes two natures, divine nature and demoniac nature. And the demoniac nature, the asura bhav, the asura is thinking, Ishwaraham, I am the controller. Ahambhogi, I am the enjoyer. This is the demon nature. Hiranyakashipu, he wants to be the controller. He doesn't want to be controlled. But we're all controlled. How? We're controlled by the modes of nature, the material nature. We're all controlled like that. People are foolish. They think, I am free. Just like some people may say, oh, you Hare Krishna people, you cannot eat meat, you cannot eat fish or egg, you cannot smoke or drink, you cannot do all the... I do all of these things. I'm free. I can do all of these things. Yes, but they're not free. They're doing these things under the influence of the material nature. Everyone is controlled. But out of ignorance, they think, I am free. No, you're not free. You're controlled. You are controlled, just like somebody said, I'm free, I can smoke. Okay, so stop smoking. If you're free, then give up the smoking. You cannot do it. They're addicted to it. We ask people, don't drink tea or coffee. They cannot do it. They cannot give up their cup of tea. They're not free. We are controlled. What is controlling us? The material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Meaning, who knows the meaning? Do you know? In Russian? What chapter? 7th chapter. What text? Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite kriyamanan. You can speak Russian? You know the meaning in Russian? You can say in Russian. Let us hear. The Russian devotees are trained. You see? He's from Vladivostok. They have a nice temple there. They have a program there. They teach Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. They study the scriptures. Yeah, the bewildered spirit soul thinks he is the doer, but everything is actually done by the material nature. The material nature means the Prakriti. The material nature means the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. We're thinking, I did it! Right? At one time, the devotees did a big program in Delhi. They put on a big festival, and thousands of people came, and it was very successful. Many people came, and people loved the program, and everybody was saying good things about Krishna consciousness. So after the program was all over, they met. And the devotees were saying to Prabhupada, we did it, Prabhupada, it was really a success. And Prabhupada looked at them and said, we didn't do anything, Krishna did it. Krishna did it. We have the choice, either to surrender to Krishna or surrender to Maya. When we surrender to Maya, then we're under the material nature, the Prakriti, the goodness, the passion, and the ignorance. And when we surrender to Krishna, we're under Krishna's divine energy. Mahatmanas tumam pata daivim prakritim ashrita. The Daivi Prakriti, those great souls are under the protection of my divine energy. They are fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. So the Mahatmas, they're devotees. They're fully engaged. They surrender to Krishna. They're under the control of Krishna. Everyone is controlled, you see. Krishna is a controller. All others are controlled. So we're controlled by the material nature. If we don't surrender to Krishna, then we're under the control of the material nature. Usually passion and ignorance controlling us. And this is the situation in the material world. Everyone is fighting with each other. Just like dogs. If you have some dogs, in the night you can hear the dogs here. You know, one dog barks, the other dogs will all bark. Why are you coming here? You go to somebody's place, a dog will bark. Why are you coming here? I am here, you go away. Like that, the barking dogs. Prabhupada compared like that. He said, sometimes you come to custom officer, the immigration, they will, why you come here? Why are you coming here? What do you want coming here? Like that. Prabhupada said, like barking dogs. The dogs bark when the person comes. And so the same way people are barking at each other, I am here, I am controlling, I am in charge. No, we're not in charge of anything. We're all controlled by the material nature. So we have to take shelter of Krishna. Don't take shelter of the material nature. Take shelter of Lord Krishna. Surrender to Krishna and get free from all the material nature. Right? We say, Daivihi Esha Gunamaye Mama Maya Duratiya. Mam Eva Ye Prapajante My Amitam Tarantite. This material nature is very difficult to overcome. It's Krishna's. Krishna said, Mama Maya, my Maya. Very difficult to overcome. But if we surrender to Krishna, we can easily cross over the material nature. The material nature is like a big ocean. But when we surrender to Krishna, it becomes just like a tiny drop of water in the footprint of a calf. You don't need a boat to cross over anymore. So Hiranyakashipu, his intentions are known by the demigods. They know he wants to become Brahma. He wants to get Brahma's position. So they're worried what to do. So they're telling Lord Brahma, you know, you better watch out. He wants to get your position. Okay, any questions? Yes, Prabhu?
There is three stages of the chanting. Aparata, namas, namakas, and shukna. Does this correspond to gunas?
Does it correspond to?
Guna. Passion, emails, and
No, it doesn't. I've never heard anybody say it corresponds to the gunas. Shuddhanam, the pure name, that is completely transcendental. That is the perfect stage. And the Namabhas, the intermediate stage, it said that if you chant in Namabhas, you're liberated. You're on the liberated platform. Haridas Thakur said, anybody who chants even at the stage of Namabhas is liberated. Of course, the one smarter Brahmana did not agree, and they had a disagreement about it. And that Brahmana ended up, he got leprosy, and all of his skin began to melt because of his offense against Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was saying, if you chant in Namabhas, that is liberated platform. Nam aparad, well, nam aparad, offensive chanting. You're not going to get the result of the chanting. You're not going to get Krishna prema. You chant with offenses. But even offensive chanting is better than not chanting. And somebody may chant with offense, it's better than not chanting. Because even he's chanting with offense, somebody may instruct him and guide him and tell him how he can improve his chanting to come to a higher stage. But I've never heard them these three stages compared to the modes of nature.
Additionally, when there is a good, there is a result of the activity, maybe positive one. How do we distinguish that it is because of us surrendering to Krishna, or is Maya controlling us further? How do you distinguish that?
How do we what?
Sorry?
How do we?
How do you distinguish that it is because of Krishna's protection, or it's because Maya is controlling us further?
How do we distinguish what was controlled by Krishna and what was done by Maya?
Yeah, it's because there's something positive happens. It may be because Krishna made mercy, or it may be because Maya is still letting you be happy, but they control you further.
Well, we know when we're taking shelter of Krishna because we will follow the instructions of sadhu and shastra and guru. So that will bring it, that's how we take shelter of Krishna. We should be able to distinguish clearly what is taking shelter of Krishna and what is surrendering to Maya. Surrendering to Maya is acting independently and whimsically, not following the regulated principles like hearing and chanting. In the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami describes the 6 items which cause us to, to go down in our devotional service, right? Atyahara prayashascha prajalpa niyamagraha janasangas saloyam cha shatpir bhakti vinashyati. That our devotional progress goes down when we engage in overeating or over-collecting, collecting more than required, right? We like to accumulate things. We like to have more. We want more money especially, collect more money and have more shoes and have more clothes and have jewelry. And then one car is not enough. I should have another car, 2 cars, and one mobile phone. No, I have to more than one phone, So we collect, we have all these things, and it stops our progress in Krishna consciousness. Atyahar, over endeavoring for mundane things, difficult to achieve. Just like this one devotee I know, she's a doctor, and she wants to become a specialist, where they have the exam, and they have to pass, they have to take the exam, and it costs a lot of money. The exam costs a lot of money, and many people take the exams, and even they come from India, and they're better students than in Malaysia, because in India it's very competitive. So, a very difficult exam, to do and to pass that exam, to become very difficult. They take the exam many times. And same with law. You want to be a lawyer. This one devotee taking the law exam many times, and so many people, so much money every time, big money, thousands and thousands they have to spend for the exam, and very difficult to pass. So over-endeavoring for mundane things, difficult to achieve, People do these things, They will endeavor. Like they spend their whole life trying to get these things. So then prajalpa, a lot of talking, talking all the time. Mobile phone, talking with this person and that person, and meet together and talking. Nothing about Krishna, but so much to say. So prajalpa, associating with non-devotees, people not interested in Krishna consciousness, all of these things, that is when you're surrendering to Maya. So we may say, well, I have to work, I have a job, I have to work with people who are not, all right, you may have to do it, but don't enjoy it. You know, we should regret that we have to do these things. We should feel sorry that we're caught up in all of these activities. And we should be happy to get away from that kind of association. We shouldn't, you know, take pleasure in all of these things. You may have to do it. You should think, this is my karma. Yes, this is my karma. Put me into this situation. So we have to be careful. We have to hold on to Krishna at every opportunity. Should always be thinking, when am I going to get time to chant? When am I going to be able to read Srimad Bhagavatam or to hear a kirtan or a lecture like that? So we can understand if we've surrendered to Krishna. Do you think, how do we know? Again, it's something similar to her question, isn't it? That two devotees, similar. So how do we know one devotee wants to serve Krishna or he wants to just want their own way, they want their own thing, they're doing their own thing, isn't it?
So the main is we are in the devotee in our all is devotee, and because the other one devotee want to instead of the other devotee because maybe the devotee is not the leader, they want to instead of the leadership. So
they want what?
Leader. Because you see, some devotee they always think because also this.
They want to be the leader.
Yeah, they want to be the leader. They want to put the leader down and he become the leader.
Oh.
Because this happens, so many things happen.
Yeah, right.
So how, and if the leader have a good Krishna consciousness, how to think or how to work if this happens.
Yeah. Well, we have to have the consciousness that if we're the leader, it doesn't mean we're the controller, it means we're the servant leader. We have to have the mood of service, that somebody's a leader as a servant. They're showing us the example of how to serve Krishna. And somebody wants to be the leader, you know, another person to think, why she should be the leader, I should be the leader. So that mentality, that thinking, that is very bad to think like. But what we should think is that in the future, I can become the leader. Now she is the leader, but she won't be the leader forever. And after some time, I can also become the leader. And the leader can also tell the younger devotees that now I am the leader, but in the future, you have to become the leader. Right? We have to tell. I want you to see how to be a leader. And you can see my mistakes. You can see what I'm doing, if I'm doing right or wrong. You can see from me. So you can learn yourself by my example. And in the future, you will become the leader. And then you will know that it's not an easy job to be the leader. To be the leader, very difficult. So many people may always complain, oh, why she's the leader? I don't like her. I don't like what she said. But, oh, she's the leader. You have to surrender. In the future, you can become the leader. You will get a chance in the future. And then you will know the problems and how difficult it is. So, we encourage the devotees, cooperate together, help each other. Right? Harmony. Work together. And in the future, Krishna will arrange. You will get your chance. You will also become the leader. And then you will know all the problems. And sometimes we say, you want to be the leader? Why don't you go make another temple? Right? You know? And somebody is the leader here, you want to be the leader, you can go to the other temple and become the leader there. And we need leaders. We need people to be leaders. Sometimes nobody wants to be the leader. They'll say, no, I don't want to be, no, I don't want to. Many times. But if you want to be the leader, very good. We want leaders. You can become the leader. We need many leaders. Go, preach. So you have to encourage people like that. It's good. They have a desire. They want to be the leader. Very nice. You can go another temple, become the leader. Okay, Hare Krishna. Prabhu had a question. Did you have a question, Prabhu?
Is there such a thing as over endeavoring in wanting to understand Krishna, reading the books, reading the Mahabharata, and the whole range of this? Is there itself an urgency and over endeavoring in wanting to understand Krishna? Because sometimes one can be so absorbed that the outside world doesn't exist. Only endeavoring or wanting to understand things occupies the mind. And also, together with that, sometimes meet other devotees who say, oh, it's like this. And other devotees say, oh, it's like that. And that difference of opinion creates that desire to say, I will have to know what is the truth. So it's there that there's such a thing as over endeavoring. Krishna consciousness and reading the books.
Not really. If your intention is to understand the philosophy and you're applying yourself to read the books, to understand the teachings, there's no over endeavor. Of course, we do have to endeavor to understand these things. We do have to read the books. It takes some endeavor. But over endeavor, no. We're endeavoring for the service of Krishna. So that's good. Over endeavoring is for, of course, we say over endeavoring for mundane things, difficult to achieve. But over endeavoring for something transcendental, that's not, you cannot over endeavor. The more we endeavor for the transcendental, then it's very good. And we have to make some effort to get love of Krishna. You want to get Krishna Prem, you have to endeavor for it, you have to try for it. You want to get the pure devotion, we have to make some efforts. And the more effort we make, the more Krishna rewards, the more Krishna is pleased. Krishna says, as you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. So the more we surrender, the more we endeavor, the more Krishna is pleased. You cannot over-endeavor for something transcendental. You can over-endeavor for mundane things, but not for transcendence. Okay? Okay? Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.